Hey everyone, it's me, Star-Lord, from Disney Pictures Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I tricked you. It's not Star-Lord at all. It's AceBonanza. And I tricked all of you. I'm not even Chris Pratt. I'm the only one nowadays who isn't Chris Pratt. Is that still topical? I'm something of a Star-Lord myself. Today, I'm going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game that came out this year. I think it's the cat's pajamas. I'm mainly talking about it because I'm a bit of a Guardians head, you know? I love Star-Lord as a character. I'm a bit of a star head, if you will. Yeah. Come and Get Your Love is the song I sing the most in the shower, next to Simple and Clean. Duh. My go-to cosplay is Star-Lord, as you can see here, although the jacket's getting a little tight. It's been a rough pandemic. I gotta get a Bowflex. It's a little reference. And I think the Annihilation event is some of Marvel's best, especially with Star-Lord before he went to the Cancerverse. That's a whole thing. Yeah, you could say I'm a bit of a Lord head. When the Guardians of the Galaxy video game was announced, I was a little bit concerned. It was announced ridiculously close to release date for industry standards. And Marvel was still dealing with their Avengers game, which I actually kind of liked. I thought that the main campaign was fine, it was great. The games as a service stuff was garbage, but, you know, I think the rest of the stuff was, you know, when you play multiplayer and stuff, that was fun. But it's kind of become a bigger mess over time. And when I reviewed it, and in later discussions, I said the game would have thrived as a single-player action game. I stand by that, and that's exactly what Guardians of the Galaxy is, and it proves my point quite nicely. But enough dilly-dallying. Let's guard some freaking galaxies. 10 years ago, you would have looked like a crazy person if you said, within the next decade, one of the most popular Marvel properties, one of the most popular properties ever, will involve a talking raccoon and a funny tree man who can't speak properly. Not only that, but that people also take them completely seriously. I would know, my Bible camp told me it was
satanic
and
misguided.
I told them this day would come, and it did. In Guardians of the Galaxy, you play as the charismatic Star-Lord, leader of the already established Guardians of the Galaxy. This ain't their first mission, but they've still got some growing to do. And grow they do, as they fight characters like Lady Hellbender, who is not associated with the Flash cartoon, but I will always think that she is because Hellbender? I think they came first. And the Universal Church of Truth. Also, Star-Lord may have a daughter. Not me, though. There's a scary gray worm eating stuff up, and the team is having a little bit of a bumpy period in terms of their friendship. Plus, this is like a decade after a huge war with the Chitauri that was only like galactic. So everyone's feeling a little scarred. Gosh, that's a lot to handle. At this point in time, the team is composed of Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot. But Mantis is in the game, and some other Guardians have little cameos like Yondu and Jack Flag. My question is, when are we gonna get Bug as a member in something? Because he rules. Look him up. He's dope as hell. The team starts fairly dysfunctionally, but grows into their own as the game goes on. This game really nails something that's core to the Guardians of the Galaxy as a franchise, and that's the sense that this is a team of weirdos, misfits, criminals, and assholes who all have good hearts in the end, you know? And they're just trying their best. They feel like a family. They bicker, they yell at each other, and they storm off, but in the end, they've got each other's backs. That is the Guardians that I love, and this game perfectly captures that. It's especially evident when you pick up little trinkets throughout all the levels, and then you can bring them back to the Milano during your downtime, where you can talk to members of the team about what it is and how it's relevance to them, and they give backstory that has references to the comics and establishes their characters in this with a little twist. I don't know. I love these discussions because they make the whole team feel fleshed out, and it makes it feel like they develop. Even though this is a Star-Lord centric game, it makes them feel established, as though They're all important. You learn about the things they love, the things they hate, the things that make them tick, the things that they've done, that they're gonna do. It really helps develop them, and it's entirely optional. It's a good feature that I'd love to see more of in the inevitable sequel. Oh, and you can very slightly alter the course of the game by choosing the right or wrong dialogue options during pivotal points in the story. They're not like monumental changes, but you know, it changes. A character might show up again later, or you know, Rocket might feel a certain way towards you, or you might get different dialogue. They mix up the story a bit, and they make the relationships deeper, and they make you want to act more like the ideal Star-Lord. It ain't much, but it feels relevant. What is this? A Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy game? That, oh, you know what? That exists, so fair point. Now, I needed this game to be good, because I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're a very personally significant team to me, as I saw the original movie when my own mom had cancer. So I immediately emphasized with Peter Quill, and I bonded with this fictional group of wacky weirdos. So if this game stunk, it would have been a real effing bummer. But the gameplay rules! Yeah, you only play as Star-Lord, but A, he's my favorite anyways, and B, it's designed with this in mind, and the game works that way, so, you know, it's fine. You can command the other Guardians to help you with environmental puzzles or do specific attacks in combat, and that's great. But your main focus is blasting away enemies with your badass element guns. You get more elements as the game goes on, and they're all different enough to feel like actual upgrades, so there's a sense of progression there that I really enjoyed. I see it this way. I would rather have a pretty polished and well-designed Guardians game where you only play as one member, specifically Star-Lord, than a game where you can play as all of them, but it's not as polished or it's not as well-designed. And I got my wish.
Oh, this is... all right.
So too bad. Too bad. The story also focuses on Star-Lord as the main pillar of the team, although everyone else gets a ton of development too. But he's at the center of the conflict as the team leader. There's some platforming throughout it that actually feels alright. You can use Star-Lord's booster boots to like jump up stuff or dash across crevasses. These sections are pretty short, but they're optional and they lead to crazy secrets. There's a ton of different costumes to unlock for everybody, and they're based off the movies, the comics, there's some original ones, and they actually really look great, unlike some of the recent Avengers skins. There's even flavor text for each costume, which makes them all canon in universe. And you know, as a big canon nerd, I love it. I love it. You can also find scrap that is used to power up or upgrade Star-Lord's perks, which let you do things like slow down time with a perfect dodge or increase the speed of your cooldown on your guns, basic stuff like that. I wish there were a couple more of these because I fully upgraded my Star guy like 3/4 into the game, but I mean, I looked through every nook and cranny, so that might just be me. My two issues with the game are I wish there were more enemies because you fight a lot of the same soldier dude and a couple aliens, and it's a little buggy. There are a few bugs that need to be squashed. The bugs are mainly visual, although I had to restart from a checkpoint a couple times because like climbing wouldn't work or sidling wouldn't work. So it's not like huge stuff, but it's annoying enough that, you know, fix it. The voice acting is excellent for every single character, and there are so many lines that I barely ever got repeats. I mean, this isn't like Hades level where it's like there's so much dialogue you could fill like 3 Bibles, but it's got a lot of lines for pretty much every situation. Like when you go to like explore random objects, you try and find optional stuff, Rocket will be like, "What are you doing? Are you stupid?" But there's like 5 different lines for that minimum. So, you know, it's great. And everyone like bickers really perfectly. It's like family Thanksgiving. Now I'm taking you home, please. And the soundtrack. Oh, the soundtrack. Not only did those mad bloody lads at Eidos Montreal make their own freaking album titled Space Rider by the band Star-Lord, which is where he gets the name, they included some banging tracks from the 80s from like everybody wants to rule the world, never gonna give you up, holding out for a hero, tons. It's great. There's no overlap with the movie soundtrack either, so it's all new tracks if you want to explore new music. I say new, like it's not the most played decade on the radio, but kids don't use radios. What am I, Star Boomer? There's nothing like kicking giant alien ass while Iran blares out of your speakers. Like, when this game hits, it hits. I'm not gonna do that again. That hurt a little bit. Now I'm gonna say the meme thing, but hear me out. You do feel like a Guardian of the Galaxy. Allow me to elaborate, you bloody mongrels. When you're watching Rocket pull out a comically large gun and Gamora slash up an enemy while Groot restrains them with his branches and Drax is charging in with his knives flailing around and you're shooting plasma shots at them and We Build This City is blaring through the radio.
Am I Star Boomer?
While you're fighting, that's the Guardians of the Galaxy experience. It's a ball, and I love it. And that's really what this game is about, right? Selling the feeling of being these famous characters while also making it fun. And it's like 15 to 20 hours or so it's not gonna eat up your whole day, you know? Well, okay, it would eat up most of the day. So, should you play Guardians of the Galaxy? Do you like the Guardians of the Galaxy? Then yeah. Do you like cool action games? Then yeah. Do you like neither of these things? Then, probably not. This isn't appealing to you. But it's pretty fun even then. You might just change your mind on one of these things. I don't know which one. You're you. This has been Ace Lord, or Bonanza Lord, or something. And I'll see you around. I have to fly away on the plaza now.